Hey guys, good evening. So, this is Ankita here. I'm going to be your mentor for the next 1 month. So, my name is Ankita Das, and I'm going to be taking the first month for you guys in your 3 months, of course. And in today's class, mostly, we are going to be going through the very basics of some concepts. And before that, we just get introduced to each other a little bit. I think learning gets easier when you feel comfortable in the class. So I guess we just introduce each other, like, where we come from, why did we take up this course, and what is the interest that you see, and what you are expecting out of, this 1 month of learning. So that is very essential for me because I will be able to, help you guys even better when I have the clarity what exactly are you guys trying to achieve. Like in the sense, like, okay, I just have to do this course because maybe I want to get a job in this, or maybe I'm just doing this to upskill myself. I have already worked in this field, or maybe I am, looking at a transition of my career. That's why I'm doing this. So these kind of stuff actually help me personalize your learning a little bit, because that way I would know exactly what are the skills, probably the tools. I mean, we have a standardized syllabus already for the number of tools, which are of course industry standards and all of that. But besides that, probably, as you give me a little information about yourself, that helps me understand that where you are right now and how can probably, we can make it 10x better for you. Sounds good? And also, guys, it's always appreciated, like, be interactive in the class as much as possible. That is going to be, I mean, the best experience for me as well as for you. Trust me. So I would start with introducing myself before you guys. So, me, Ankita Das, as I told you, and I come from Calcutta. I hail from there, but then I've been putting up in Bangalore for the last about 7, 8 years. And I have been in the field for as many years almost, and I have worked with different industries and, with different agencies, and hence we work with different industries like EdTech, or you say manufacturing, textile, real estate, or maybe healthcare, fitness, and multiple others like that, like food and beverage, e-commerce, and a bunch of things like that. So I have been working in the industry, like I told you, and besides that, I also do have a little bit of experience into teaching as well. So I've been doing that for the last 3 to 4 years as well. And I have gotten an opportunity to actually teach with different platforms. And now, yeah, here I am to help you guys however I can. I try to give my best, and I would expect you guys to probably, uh, come up with as many questions as possible. Doesn't matter how small or how large that is. I do not mind, and rather I encourage having more questions that, sort of challenges me. I think that's what drives me the most in this field. That is, the more you come up with different problems or blockers, that helps me get better with my research and, coming up with the answer. And together, that is how we grow in this field. It's always a give and take of knowledge. That's going to help you grow in this field. So, okay, that's a little bit about me and what we are going to be doing. But before we jump into the course and what we are going to be learning in that, let's just, like I said, introduce each other. So, do I have to call out names because you guys are just only 3 people, or do you just want to one by one unmute your mic and just tell me your name, where you are from, why this course, what's the interest? Okay, let me just call up names probably. So, Bhargavi, can you please unmute yourself and introduce yourself to us?
I'm Bhargavi. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Hey, Bhargavi, good evening.
I'm from Telangana.
I'm so sorry, I didn't get you.
I'm from Telangana.
Okay,
Now I'm studying degree second year completed. I'm studying degree final year.
okay. What are you like? Which degree are you pursuing?
BSc Biotechnology.
That's amazing. So, what is the interest in digital marketing?
I don't know much about digital marketing, but I have some interest that I should do something differently.
Amazing. The best part is that I transitioned from biotech to digital marketing as well 7, 8 years back.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah,
So that's great to know. It's good. It's going to be interesting. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Bhargavi. I hope I can help you with
Thank
this
you, ma'am.
transition. So absolutely. Reach out for any help that you want anytime. So, okay, to the next person. Hi, Mani. Good evening. Would you like to introduce yourself to us and muting yourself?
Good evening, madam.
Hi, good evening.
Hello,
Hi, good evening. You're
my
audible.
name is Mane.
Hmm.
I'm presently I'm pursuing MCOM second year in finance.
Okay.
Okay.
So, how come you are getting into digital marketing? So, you want to pursue a career in this, or do you have this as a part of your syllabus and you need this degree?
Yeah, I have read about digital marketing and also interested in social media ads
Okay.
and something
Okay.
like that in digital wise.
Got it. Got it. All right. Okay, so the last person, am
Okay.
I pronouncing it right? Habibullah. That is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. My name is Habib. Hello.
Your name is Habib.
Yes, ma'am. I am from Hyderabad. I'm studying BTech first year.
Okay.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm from Hyderabad. I'm studying BTech first year in Aurora College.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing an internship for this digital marketing.
Okay. Okay, all right, cool. That gives me a good picture. So let's just probably, talk a little bit about what are the things that we are going to be covering in the upcoming 1 month. Before I start, one disclaimer. If any moment that you feel like I'm going fast, I'm going slow, or you might need me to explain it once again, or you might need a better explanation, you might need me to explain it in a different way, give you more examples, give you different examples, anything that you require, please raise your hand, click on that raise hand button, and feel free to ask me whatever questions you guys have. Or else, you guys can also type out your questions in the chat bar while I'm talking. If you want to interact with me in between, you can raise a hand and ask me the question. That's one option. Another thing, you can note down your questions during the whole lecture, and in the end of our session we can discuss one by one whatever your queries are, and and the rest of the stuff. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Now, first thing first. So, three modules that we are going to be covering in the next 1 month. One is keyword research. So, under keyword research, we will be understanding how do we use keywords, why do we use keywords, would be the first place where we would start. And that way, you would get a comprehensive idea on what SEO is. Because to understand why you need keyword research, it is very important to understand what SEO is and what do we exactly do in SEO. So that is where the whole concept of keywords get plugged in. Yeah. And that is where we would understand different types of keywords, and those types can be based on different other distinguishing factors as well. And these types of keywords, how do we exactly apply them through our content, or what are the factors that actually help us understand, how do I pick out these keywords based on different data, based on different performance indicators or key performance indicators, which we also call as KPIs. Yeah. Now, for this particular thing, we would definitely understand a few things, like a few tools, like let's say Google Keywords Planner, number one, which is the most important thing. And also Google Keywords Planner is a free tool that is the best part. So you can be using Google Keywords Planner for it, or you can use bunch of other tools which are also available in the industry. Like let's say you have SEMrush, or you have Ahref for the thing, you have HubSpot, you have Uber Suggest, and a bunch of other things like that. But since Google Keywords Planner is free, we use that most of the times. But I would also give you guys a run through of probably the backend of HubSpot, besides Uber Suggest as well. And there are many other SEO tools like Mozbar, etc., which are already available in the industry. The sole reason that we will be following only a few of the very basic tools, which are like, the whole industry is more familiar with and it's more popularly used as well. And also, if you are actually learning any one of these tools, mostly it's just learning all of them, because it's about the concept, like, how you get into understanding what are these terminologies which are important for you, what are these terminologies that are being used by your customers or your competitors for ranking better. So once you understand the intentionality of using these particular terminologies, and then you understand that, okay, I pick out this keyword because it probably has a great amount of traffic coming in because of this, or multiple other factors like that. So that is what we are going to be learning. So once you understand the concept of how you basically do your research, it doesn't really matter whatever tool that you are using for doing that particular research and the execution bit of it. Yeah. Now that is for keyword research, but before getting into that, like I said, that I'll have to give you guys an overview of SEO as well. Now, secondly, is that since we are going to be talking about keyword research and all of these things, and we are learning how to use these tools, we also have to see how do we integrate AI into the whole thing. Because as we know that AI has made our lives like, way easier, and we can do our work so much faster, and it can be more efficient, it can enhance a lot of things. But one thing I would probably differ a little bit is that having human touch is very important to. So we will be learning how do we exactly use AI, but definitely at the same time, through that whole process, we would also be learning that if we are using AI, how do we humanize that, how we edit it and format it better, that it really looks like, yeah, it does come from a human being. Number one reason is that when it comes to the algorithm of Google, you cannot be ranking for either your advertisements or your organic content that you're trying to rank for without having a human touch to it. If you are copying and pasting from any kind of AI source that you are using, Gemini or Bing AI, that is Copilot, or probably even ChatGPT, anything that you are using, that content is not going to rank, because Google now has got a very high radar for AI content that is being generated. So you remember that there was a time where people used to use these paraphrasing tools. There were multiple paraphrasing tools which were available online, where you could just copy and paste the content of one website, and you could go on the paraphraser and you could just put that and say, click on a button and say that, okay, rephrase this. So the paraphrase version could be detected. There were so many other online tools which were also available at that same time, which could detect very easily that, okay, whether this text has been paraphrased or not. Now, in the same way, since we have AI in place now, we also have AI detectors that, okay, if a content has been created, that can be social media content, that can be website content, that can be any format of content that has been created by AI. It's not only textual, it can be a video, it can be an image, any form of media is ultimately content. So once it gets detected by these AI detecting tools that, hey, this particular content has been generated completely from AI. And there has been no changes made, no edits made to the whole thing, nothing which has been personalized after taking this reference from AI. In that case, your content do not really rank at all. And you cannot be blindly using everything that you get from AI, right? Now, next thing that we are going to be covering, and next topic altogether that we are going to be covering is going to be content strategy. So content strategy, under this, we have identifying and creating the right set of content. So we will be learning how do we create a content strategy? Why do we need a content strategy? What is the importance of having a content strategy? Different types of contents require different kinds of thought process, different types of ideation, different types of tools for it, and also different types of execution levels on it. For example, if I'm writing a content for website, the approach for writing a content for website might be very, very different. Actually, it will be very, very different than if I am writing content, let's say, for a white paper or for a case study. Right? In a case study, my approach is all about, I mean, you might think that, hey, when I'm writing content for a website, I'm just trying to give out information to people about my brand and my products, my services, how to contact me, what do we do, what is our process, what are our morals, what are our values, yada, yada. But when we are writing content for any kind of case study or any kind of white papers, what we are trying to do over here is that we are basically trying to give them a glimpse of what we have already done. A case study is basically like it's just a little bit opposite from testimonial. Testimonial is something when your customers say that, I have used this product and this has been great, this has worked great for me. So that is like a testimonial. But in a case study, it's you who's writing that, hey, a client came to me and the client had this particular sets of problems, and these were the kind of challenges that they were facing. These are the solutions that we have offered, and these are the business outcomes that they have received. Business outcomes in the sense, okay, they have seen a 50% improvement in their lead engagement. They have probably seen a 30% lead closing or a lead conversion from their MQL to SQL. So to understand even what MQL and SQL is a part of it, and any kind of these strategies that you're doing, like let's say for keywords that you are doing, or maybe content writing, content marketing, all of these things that we are going to be doing, the best part is that we will be learning how do we use each one of these skills for actually get down, get your hands dirty, and actually generate leads. That is the ultimate part. If you are employed, your employer all care about is getting lead. Stop being employed. Let's say you have a product. Let's say you have a business. What do you want in the end of the day? You just want revenue. We get more revenue. When do we get more revenue? We only get more revenue when we have more and more leads coming into us. So we get more leads. How? By using all of these different strategies that we have. We have content strategy, we have keyword strategy, we have SEO that we talk about. Ultimately, all of these things we are doing, all these strategies are just to bring in more and more lead, and on different stages and different levels, these contents or keywords or these strategies will be used to convert these particular leads into customers. So whenever we are pursuing any sort of marketing, social media marketing, or maybe Google Ads and performance, or just the website content, or maybe email newsletters, or video marketing and production, anything that we are doing it for different stages of marketing. Now, these different stages of marketing is something that we would also understand, because we will get a glimpse of what digital marketing is, what are the types of it, what are the importances of it, and we'll definitely go through these stages at the same time. And probably I'll give you guys those glimpses today itself, because we will start with our basic things today after we are done with going through this whole curriculum, right? Now, the last thing is social media management. That is the last topic that we would be having for our first month of the course. Now, social media management. Creating and managing social media profiles. I mean, we all know that how do we exactly create a social media profile? We all do know that. But yeah, going through a very basics hurts nobody. That's completely fine. So we will see how do we do all of that. But my interest would lie in helping you guys going much deeper than that. When I say much deeper, I mean that understanding, of course, that why is social media important. I mean, okay, it's important for brand awareness. It's important for getting more traffic to your website from there. It can help you with your off-page SEO. It can help you with getting more engagement and a bunch of things like that. But now, ultimately, the what our focus is, once again, our focus is basically to get more leads by using all of these. So now, once again, when we are talking about social media management, will talk about what it is, what are the importance of it, how do we strategize for, how do we make a content strategy for social media or an overall strategy for social media in itself, right? Because our goal is to bring in more and more leads. Now, if I want to be bringing more leads in, all right, for that, I have to create funnels as well. So understanding what funnels are, and funnels can be very important in any strategy that you're using. Your content marketing can have funnels, your social media management can have funnels, your video marketing can have funnels, anything that we are doing in marketing, funnels are something very important. So what is a funnel? How do we make a funnel? All of that, I will be taking you guys through all of it. And for each one of these things, we would also be using AI besides putting our own brain, because AI definitely would help you ideate the ideas that you have, but it is not really going to be as creative as you can think. So be as creative as you want and use AI as much as you can after that to establish all of those creative thoughts that you already have. Right now, social media, since we are going to be covering that, let's talk about the platforms we are going to be covering. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have LinkedIn. Also, we do have YouTube as well, and Pinterest to a certain extent as well, because I mean, why not? And understand what is the user base for each one of these different platforms. What are the different things that we can do? If you're talking about Instagram and Facebook, it's like an ocean in itself, right? Because Instagram and Facebook both can be regulated by using Meta, and Meta has its own myriads of features that you can probably use to establish your brand as an authoritative thought leader in the industry. So we will be learning how do we use Meta Business, how do we schedule posts, how do we schedule posts in a bulk, how do we create posts in a bulk even by using AI, right? It does not take like 12, 15 days anymore to come up with a strategy. Definitely it can probably take you some time to idea that, okay, what is the concept that you want to lay out there in front of your customers, but to execute the whole thing, this whole process has become like way more easier, right? So previously, probably if you would take like 20 steps to finish a content strategy, that has probably become half or even less, right? And that's definitely for better. So we'll be understanding all of these things, and we would be doing these things hands-on as well. Correct. So as we are learning through things overall, all of these months, we would also have our assignments and projects, and also we would be having MCQs sometimes, because that would probably help you guys, understand things better. Sometimes I would offer you guys with documents or sheets of things itself where you guys just have to submit the answer. So that's about it. That's about your course curriculum. I would take 2 minutes over here to ask you guys if you guys have any questions or any queries before we get on to the understanding of the very basics of digital marketing. All right, so I guess you guys have no more questions about this. So we'll be quickly jumping on to our first session for today. Okay. So I will be using presentations in a screen for our classes every other day. But here you will get a very basic context of, what things are, because they are going to be, these are PPTs. So hence the amount of content that you'd be finding in each one of these slides, it's not going to be like very comprehensive. It's not going to be like super big that would give you something very much in detail or something. But I would suggest you guys, while I'm probably talking to you guys, that as the time I would actually encourage you guys to pay attention to what I'm talking about at that point, because the explanation can go longer than the amount of things that you see on these slides. And besides that, any moment that you guys feel that, hey, you know what, I would like to know more about this particular subject, I would love to share a few notes with you guys, which is like a PDF, a book on digital marketing, content marketing, email marketing, etc. So probably by the end of our 1 month course, I would consolidate it in a consolidated manner. I might share all of those documents with you. And in the middle of our 1 month session, also, if you would like to get those resources from me, please let me know. I will share that across with you guys. I will speak to the admin how that can probably be done easily with you guys, like a drive folder link or something. We will share that over with you guys. So now getting into the very basics of digital marketing. Yeah. First thing, what is digital marketing? Digital marketing is a super simple thing. So, as the name in itself suggests, any kind of marketing that you pursue by using any form of digital media is basically digital marketing. You can be using social media, you can be using website, you can be using any platform that you want. It can be an audio, it can be video, it can be both together, it can be textual, it can also be TV and radio. So television and radio are also basically digital format of content that we consume. So any type of marketing, any type of content distribution that is done by using various different digital channels is basically known as digital marketing. Very simple. Now, the next thing that we have is importance of digital marketing. Number one importance is reaching more and more people. As we know that, if we use digital marketing, if I have an offline shop, maybe I can reach out 50 people in 1 day. But if I try to reach people out, online, maybe have 1 day I can reach out 500, 1,000 people, which is like 10x and even more. Correct? So that is the reason that people go for digital marketing. But now there is one more better part to that, reaching more people. Now let's understand in an offline scenario. You have a shop where 50 people on an average come to your shop. But imagine your shop is on a particular street. It's in a locality where there might be hundreds of other people who might be living. In that locality, within probably 3 to 5 kilometers, on an average, there can probably be 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 people living within a few kilometers, as small as 3 to 5 kilometers, or even more. I'm just giving a very basic idea. So out of all these 4,000, 5,000 people that live in that whole locality, there are 50 people who come to your store. So these 50 people who come to your store, out of these 50 people, some people might come down to check out your store for the first time. Some people might be there because they pass by that road every day and they have seen something in your store sometime and they thought that, okay, let me just drop by and check out this product specifically. Some people might feel that, okay, some people might be regular to your store. They might come down for some of their regular needs to your store. They have probably been coming to your store over many years now. right? These people can enjoy special benefits like discounts, vouchers, and bunch of things because they are regular and they have been coming to your store for multiple years. Or there can also be customers who are probably new in that locality, wants to check out your store, and for the very first time they are there, but they end up buying something from you. And there are also people who are just not interested in your store, or people who come to your store and they don't like anything and they might leave after checking one or two products. Some people might walk into your store and might probably remember there's this other store where they have seen this same product which had a better discount on it, or probably the quality of that was way better, that's what they feel, and they might leave your store. So these are just a few possibilities that I told you about. There are going to be many more possibilities in a business. Now, the better we start understanding what are these different possibilities that will probably happen in a business, the better we start getting with our marketing. So understanding these behaviors better is basically where we are trying to understand our target audience. Target audience are the most suitable personas to which our products or our services are more beneficial. They are the ones who are looking for these products or these services. They are the ones who can be benefited out of these whole things. Our product can be probably something which is solving one or multiple problems at the same time for all of these target personas that we have in our kitty. So targeted approach is a huge thing about digital marketing because when I am doing digital marketing, I know I'm reaching out to a lot of people, but there are a bunch of different strategies under digital marketing. When we say SEO, when we say ads and performance, when we say email marketing, we say social media marketing, all of these things that we do has got two strategies to it. One, where we have organic strategy. Second, we have inorganic strategy. What is organic strategy? Organic strategy is something that basically happens for free. For example, you create a WordPress website and you start writing something on the WordPress website, you launch your own website and you can do anything, you can change anything that you want, and not for a single time. You are, yeah, if you want to host that particular website on something like Hostinger, etc. If you want to host that website, there is a domain charge that you'll be paying. That is for your hosting of the website. You're not paying it for marketing, right? So what is paying for marketing? Paying for marketing is like when you're running any kind of campaigns or you're running any kind of advertisements. That is when you are paying for marketing. Or you are running email marketing campaigns. That is when you are paying for it. So when you are going ahead on social media and posting anything that you want in your regular life, like the story or posting a reel or probably uploading a few pictures over there or sharing anything, those are all organic as compared to inorganic ones. For example, even if you have not run ads, I'm sure in every three scroll, if you have not noticed, in Facebook and on Instagram, whenever you are scrolling, you would see that after three posts, you would always see an advertisement. After watching stories, let's say after three stories, you would always find an advertisement. So that is the placement of advertisement that is followed even by Meta. Yeah. So in the same way, we find ads on Pinterest, we find ads on Reddit, we find ads on YouTube, which is very famous. We all know, and we basically find ads everywhere, even on LinkedIn. So each and every platform has their organic and their inorganic strategy, which is free and paid strategy, respectively. Now that we know that, where our inorganic strategy helps us is that it helps us to become more specific to who do we want to reach. Now, if I am running an advertisement on Google, I'm running an ad on YouTube, I'm running an ad on LinkedIn, I'll be using their tool, and any tool that I am using, even if I am using a third party application for advertisement, let's say HubSpot, etc., anything, it always helps me segregate my audience, make it way more specific. It helps us making the audience specific. When I say specific, I mean you can get as detailed as you want. Let's say you are selling let's say you are selling life insurance. Now you might feel life insurance is a thing, everybody needs life insurance, right? But who are these people, do you think, who mostly have the chances of probably buying it? A lot of people might be interested in the thing. If you show a person a 4 crore bungalow, I'm sure that a lot of people would be interested in that bungalow. But how many people would actually have the wealth to buy it? A lot of people would like it. A lot of people would consider, you know, checking out the option. A lot of people then might be like, okay, should I not? And then compare the prices, and ultimately there'll be only a few who are actually being able to buy these things. So you really have to understand. Now, if I'm selling life insurance, I really need to know what is like the income bracket of these people, because demographic is something which is on a very superficial level. People will tell you, yeah, it's about the age, about the gender, about the profession, yada yada. But it goes beyond that when we are trying to be way more specific, that we probably want to know what is the range of these particular people who are working right now. What are the kind of professions that people are into? There are many people who earn a lot of money probably, but not everybody is like, interested in life insurance. Not a lot of people are aware that life insurance is important. So there are multiple stages, like I said. A lot of people who are not aware, maybe your job is to make them aware on social media or any other platform. Make them aware. And there are other bunch of people who are probably searching for, life insurance and how. So look for the terminologies. What are these people looking for? How, if they look for these particular things, then they will find us. So that is why keywords also play a huge part. Now you can make them more targeted. What is their age range? What is their income range? Do they live in their own house? Do they live in a rented house? Do they have a spouse? Do they have kids? If they want life insurance, do they want life insurance for the whole family? If they want life insurance, what are the kind of benefits that they are looking at from the life insurance? If they want life insurance, what are the kind of budgets that they have for life insurance, to pay it yearly, pay it monthly? What are the kind of things that you're looking at? Because a lot of people might have insurance like health insurance, etc., a lot of kinds of insurance which are offered by their offices directly as well, right? So now if these insurances are already offered by these offices, then do these people really need it? No, probably these people might not need it. There are other people who are working in other companies who might need it. People who might have their own businesses already, they might require these kind of life insurance. They might require life insurance in two fronts. They might need it for themselves. They might also be offering that for their employees if they are business owners. In that case, you have a B2B angle as well, besides it being B2C. So you can be as targeted as possible with your audience. The reason that I went along with the audience bit of it is because that is the cream of your marketing strategy. If you understand who your customers are, if you understand what their pain points are, if you understand what they actually need, if you understand what is their affordability, what is their lifestyle, what probably, what is the sweetest spot exactly? Is it the product quality? Is it the pricing? Is it a particular feature missing in my product? All of these things only can get your product gets better with understanding your customers. Your marketing gets better understanding your customer. So customer is basically going to be the key around which it's like the pillar around which your whole marketing strategy would be revolving, looking at any strategy that we are building. Next thing, it's cost effective. Digital marketing is, of course, cost effective because if I had to make a billboard offline and let's say the person tells me that, hey, I would be delivering it today, and let's say the billboard has to basically go out today for me, and for any delay they say that, hey, we couldn't offer it yesterday, but we can get it done by today in the morning. I have to be okay with it, number one. And once they offer me, and if I find that, okay, there's a typo, there's a small spelling mistake, a color is wrong, my brand logo is missing, or anything of those kinds that actually happens, I have to wait it out until the next set of printing is done. I might have to pay that guy even more once again to do that. Yes, it's their mistake, but maybe they won't be doing the whole bulk printing for me, which has a huge budget. They would not probably do that for me without any sort of pay. They might charge me lesser, but they would definitely charge me, right? That mistake is not only from their end, that mistake can also happen from our end. Let's say whenever we offered, then the writer, probably there was a mistake in that, nobody cross-checked, and now whatever printout has come as that. Now to change that, you have a huge cost to bear, but you cannot keep on doing that. And I mean, these kind of things are always subjected to small or large mistakes, and this might happen multiple times. This is not only about once. This might happen like a bunch of times, correct? Now, if these things have to happen, then you definitely have to be very much aware what is your total budget for marketing, and you would definitely like to save up more than just letting it all go. Now, in digital marketing, that is the best part because you can always go back and change things. Let's say you have just published something. Now, if you have published something, and if after publishing you just see that, oh shit, you know what? If I click on this landing page is not opening. Then we just go to the back end and check quickly, okay, what is the problem with the landing page? Do we have any problem with the URL? Do we have any problem with the CS files in the back end? Or let's say there is a small spelling mistake. So you can just check the spelling mistake very quickly. Let's say you just feel that, okay, this particular creative which has been made looks a little bit off. Then you can just take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, how much ever time you need to enhance whatever you wanted to enhance and change and upgrade, and you can just replace that file over there, and it's pretty easy and pretty faster, and all these changes that you are basically making are all in your control. You are not having to pay a single penny for it. So it's a great improved return on investment that you're also getting whenever you are using digital marketing. Next is equal competing ground. Imagine the days when we had magazines. So magazines still do exist, of course, but then imagine watching those brands on magazine. If you just open a magazine, you'll probably find like Vogue, and then you'll find Louis Vuitton, you'll find Gucci, you'll find Balenciaga, and so many other brands that you would probably find. But you might have always heard about a gym called Gold's Gym. Gold's Gym is from US, so they had branded themselves so big, and they've been in the industry for so many years. They're like this industry giants when it comes to fitness. But if digital marketing would have not been there, do you think that cult would have been cult today? Right? So there's a huge difference. There is a competing ground that gets leveled up. The field gets leveled up because the presence of digital media. Because when you are a new player, you might not have that huge amount of money to buy out an advertisement space on the front page of a magazine, or probably to be on the page 3 of a magazine, or to be on any kind of newspaper front pages, or the important segments of a newspaper wherever they would be putting up all of these important things. So all of these things are basically based on the auction that happens. Like for the front page, there can be like 5 different brands who are competing for the front page. The person who's ready to pay the highest amount is the person who gets on the front page. Now, if you are a new brand, you might not have that budget. Might not have that budget. More often than not, people don't have that budget. So when it comes to social media, it helps us, level the ground that, hey, everybody can actually compete on the same level. Nobody has to stay back only because you do not have the same budget. But this one is probably a little bit, I would debate that a little, because the scenarios with a period of time has changed. Definitely, it's an advantage from and as compared to an offline scenario that we have over here. But this whole system of bidding and ranking and all of these things, they do still exist, and in a digital landscape itself it exists, and that is a part of ad and performance, where you'll be learning how bidding exactly works out and how you actually rank for these particular keywords. So while I'm giving you guys a run through of how do we do anything about keywords when it comes to SEO, I would also give you guys a glimpse, even though we are not going to look at the paid advertisement bit of it in the first month, but I would like to give you guys a little bit of glimpse on, how this whole ranking stuff overall happens, so that that gives you an idea of how bidding works out on any different, any kind of platform. Yeah. Now, the last four importances going to be very quick. So one is adaptability. So if we know that we can make changes very easily, that makes it cost effective. So of course, making all of those changes, being able to make all of those changes very easily makes digital marketing a very adaptable strategy overall, for sure. Now, another thing is measurable results. So in digital marketing, anything that you're doing is measurable. Remember the first example that I gave, that let's say you have your shop and it's offline. There are 5,000 people stay in the locality and 50 people come down to your uh, shop. But if that is offline, you would never know. If that is offline, you would only know the number of people who are coming to your shop. You can count that. That can still be a thing. That okay, from the morning until night, on an average, like these many number of people came in a day. So on an average, these many number of people come to my shop probably in a month. On an average, you can take the number, even if it is even if that is not something which is exact, but you can never understand what is probably the difference between the total number of people who are actually present in the locality and the number of people who are coming in over there, right? You might not be aware of that at all. But when it comes to digital marketing, you can always know that. You can see the number of people who have come to your website. You can see the total number of times people have seen checked out your website. You can see how long people have stayed on your website, on which page of your website they have spent more time. On a particular page, which are the areas where they have spent a lot of time. We can use heat maps for detecting that as well. Out of that, how many people have clicked on certain buttons, how many people have scrolled down and checked a few things, how many people have read case studies, how many people have taken one or two key made one or two key events probably on my website and all of that. So all of these things are basically measurable when it comes to digital marketing, which is not possible otherwise. Now, next point is enhanced conversions. So since you are putting your product out, more people are getting to know you, more people are checking your product, services, solutions out, more people are taking interest. So on every level, you have to create that interest in your audience, right? First, when people come and people check out your product, they like that product, they get to know your brand. Then if they are getting to know your brand, that is the moment where you make them take interest in your products and services by telling them how you can solve their problems, you understand their pain points, what are the benefits that they are going to get, etc. Now once they take a little bit of interest in in your product, probably, and push them a little bit more, where they can consider that okay, this is a good product, the quality is good, maybe the pricing point is also an advantage, maybe I can look into it, and then give them a little bit more push where they can probably end up buying that thing. Tell them that, oh, you like it, great, normally we sell it at $50, now for today, especially for you, I'm going to sell it only for $30. I'm giving you a 55-60%, like 60% discount, things like that, right? 40% discount. So you can just tell people things like that. So this whole series and level of marketing that I just told you, that is defined as AIDA, AIDA. I would come and come to this particular topic, and I will explain this topic a little broader probably in our next class, which is going to be tomorrow. So enhanced conversions overall means that if you are getting more number of people who are coming to your website, a lot of people might be interested from the very beginning to end up buying something. Yet a lot of other people might be stuck on different other stages with their different thoughts. Now, how you actually push them to ultimately make a decision that no, they want to buy something out, that is basically known as a conversion from your lead to a proper conversion into a customer. So enhanced conversions is a huge thing which is all about digital marketing. Now, next thing is engagement across different stages. The same thing that I just explained right now. So you will be able to engage with your customers on different levels from the time they start taking interest until the time they end up probably buying your product or your solutions. That is about the importance of digital marketing. Now, in tomorrow's class, we will look briefly into what are the types of digital marketing, and we will deep dive straight up into our first topic. We would start looking into basics of SEO, and we would get into keywords. So this is it for today. This is going to be our class for today. So please tell me if you guys have any questions. Guys, any more questions? All right, guys, thank you so much. If you guys don't have any questions, okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow then.